You complain about your job every week, yet panic when leaving becomes real. Why does the thing you hate still feel safe? Every month, one paycheck calms your fear, resets your pain, and quietly puts your dreams back to sleep again. What if the thing paying your bills today is the same thing stealing your future every single month? It never begins as a prison. It begins as relief. Your first paycheck feels like proof that life is finally starting. You feel proud, useful, independent. For a moment, money feels like freedom. And that is why the trap works so well. It doesn't arrive wearing chains. It arrives smiling, rewarding you, and asking for nothing except your future attention. Then reality enters quietly. Rent appears, debt appears, food, subscriptions, emergencies, obligations. The same paycheck that felt exciting now has too many names already written on it. You stop asking what you want and start asking what must be paid first. This is the moment many people miss. Survival slowly replaces imagination, and stress begins managing your choices for you. Soon your salary changes meaning. It is no longer income. It becomes oxygen. Missing one payment now feels like danger. One bad month feels like collapse. You begin protecting the source of money more than the source of growth. That is how dependence forms, not with weakness, but with repetition. The monthly cycle trains fear until fear starts feeling responsible and normal. At this stage, you think you are choosing stability, but often stability is choosing you. Your calendar controls your energy. Your boss controls your mood. Your weekends become recovery rooms. Dreams get postponed to later, then later again. You still feel employed, but inside you are being programmed. Routine becomes the cage. Then comes the final stage. You defend the very thing draining you. You mock people who take risks. You call freedom unrealistic. You call exhaustion maturity. You call fear responsibility. This is why the cage becomes invisible. Once the prisoner starts protecting the bars, the system no longer needs guards. It only needs your voice repeating the rules it taught you to believe. Imagine a bird born inside a cage. One day the door opens, but it stays. Not because it loves prison, but because it forgot what sky feels like. That is how many adults live with money. They call the cage stability. They call the bars responsibility. And after enough years, even freedom starts looking dangerous from the inside. Some people are not drowning in water. They are drowning in routine. Same alarm, same road, same desk, same exhaustion. Routine can feel peaceful because it is predictable, but quicksand is predictable too. The more you stand still inside it, the deeper it pulls you down. Many careers do not collapse loudly. They sink quietly, one repeated morning at a time. Your paycheck can become a leash with direct deposit. It feeds you, so you stop noticing who holds the other end. Every month it arrives like kindness. Every month it shortens the distance you can run. Soon you confuse feeding with freedom. But pets are fed too. Comfort is not proof of independence. Sometimes comfort is how control disguises itself. Many people live inside a golden hamster wheel. The wheel is expensive, clean, and socially respected, but it still spins in circles. Promotions make it shinier. Bonuses make it faster. New gadgets decorate the cage. Yet direction never changes. Motion can impress other people while hiding the fact that you are going nowhere meaningful at all. Debt is often sold as a bridge, but for many it becomes a treadmill. You run harder just to stay where you already are. Car payments, credit cards, lifestyle upgrades. Each promise says later you will enjoy life, but later keeps moving. The machine never reaches the finish line because the finish line is attached to the machine itself. Some offices are aquariums, transparent walls, controlled temperature, scheduled feeding, decorative plants. Safe, clean, impressive. But fish in aquariums still swim inside boundaries chosen by someone else. Many workers mistake polished environments for freedom. If your whole world is designed for you, your whole world may also be limiting you without resistance or noise. The most dangerous prison is the one that pays rent on time. It rewards obedience, funds distraction, and calls itself adulthood. Because it is functional, nobody questions it. Because it is common, everybody copies it. Because it is legal, it feels moral. But many cages survive not through force, through monthly convenience and social applause. One day you wake up tired for no clear reason, not physically, spiritually. You realize your body is working, but your soul has been unemployed for years. The paycheck still arrives, the smile still appears, but something inside you knows the truth now. You are surviving a life you never consciously chose. Then the dangerous question arrives: who am I without this job, without the title, the routine, the monthly deposit? If losing one system feels like losing yourself, then maybe it was never just income. Maybe your identity was rented and paid back in small pieces every month. Most cages are not locked, they are familiar. That is why people stay. The bars are made of habit, not steel. The guard is fear, not force. The sentence is repetition, not law. The moment you understand this, the room changes. What looked permanent starts looking designed. What looked natural starts looking optional. Freedom rarely begins with quitting. It begins with seeing clearly. A new skill, a smaller ego, lower expenses, one brave hour after work, one honest weekend. Escape is usually quiet at first. No applause, no fireworks, no announcement, just small actions that slowly make fear lose its job inside your mind. And then one morning, you notice something strange. The paycheck no longer controls your breathing. Your boss no longer controls your weather. The calendar no longer owns your energy. Nothing outside changed overnight, but everything inside did. This is the first real taste of freedom. Not more money, more authorship over your own life. You do not hate mornings. You hate waking up for a life that drains you. That is why the alarm feels violent. It is not the sound, it is the reminder. Another day where your time belongs somewhere else before it belongs to you. Some people call this adulthood. Your body often calls it stress before your mind admits it. You do not love Fridays because weekends are magical. You love Fridays because you finally get temporary relief. 2 days where nobody rents your energy by the hour. Then Sunday night arrives like a shadow. Anxiety enters the room before Monday does. That feeling is information. It is your nervous system telling the truth. Payday comes, and suddenly life feels possible again. For 48 hours, hope returns. Then bills clear, balances drop, and the mood changes with the numbers. If your peace rises and falls with one deposit, it may not be wealth you have built. It may be dependence dressed as stability. Sometimes the saddest moment is not failure. It is looking in the mirror and realizing you became efficient at surviving, but disconnected from living. You kept schedules, paid bills, answered emails, stayed responsible. Yet somewhere inside, the younger version of you is still waiting for the life you promised would begin soon. You tell your family you are doing this for them. Sometimes that is true, but sometimes they do not need more exhausted money. They need more present you, more laughter at dinner, more attention in the room, more energy in your eyes. Success can become expensive when it costs the people it was meant to help. The scariest trap is waking up 10 years later and noticing nothing was technically wrong, except your whole life felt postponed. You were busy, responsible, reasonable, productive, but deeply absent from your own story. Time does not always steal loudly. Sometimes it simply leaves while you are answering emails and waiting for the right moment. But here's the part nobody told you. Feeling trapped does not mean you are trapped. It means you are awake enough to notice the walls. That frustration you feel, it is not weakness. It is intelligence returning. Pain is often the first proof that numbness is ending. The moment life feels unbearable, change has already begun inside you. You do not need to burn your life down overnight. Start smaller than fear expects. Learn one skill, cut one useless expense, protect 1 hour each evening, build one stream that does not ask permission. Freedom rarely enters with fireworks. It arrives like quiet confidence, then suddenly one day your old cage feels too small to re-enter. One day the alarm rings, and no anger comes. Payday arrives, and no panic leaves with it. Sunday night comes, and no shadow enters the room. That is when you realize the victory was never just money. It was nervous system peace. It was self-respect. It was waking up inside your own life again, instead of reporting to it. So tell me honestly, What has been owning you? Fear, routine, debt, or comfort? Comment the word escape if you are done living on autopilot. Subscribe if you want more truth like this, because the system wins when people stay asleep and loses every time one person decides to wake up and build differently.